Today's flashback video is the top 10 grossing movies of gorgeous George Clooney. And first we're going to look a little at the star himself, his biography and lifestyle, before we talk a little bit about each of those movies. As usual, if you like what you see, please consider giving it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more, then you could even subscribe to the channel. That would be great. Okay, so with that being said, let's do this. George Timothy Clooney is a famous actor and filmmaker. Also sometimes called Gorgeous George, Clooney is 5'11" tall and weighs around 176 pounds, with dark brown eyes and grey hair. What else would it be at his age? According to Celebrity Net Worth, his personal fortune stands at a whopping $500 million. I'm sat here trying to imagine what having that amount of money would be like. George Clooney was born on May 6, 1961, in Los Angeles, California. His father, Nick Clooney, was a journalist and TV presenter, and his mother, Nina Bruce Warren, was a former beauty queen and councilwoman. George has a sister called Adelia, who, unlike many siblings of superstars, has not chosen to be part of the movie industry, and instead is an accountant. George has actually been married twice. His first wife was actress Talia Balsam, and they were together from 1989 until their divorce in 1993, but they didn't have any children. His second and best known marriage was to barrister Amal Alamuddin in 2014, and she gave birth to twins in 2017. Their names are Ella and Alexander. As of May 2021, Clooney was looking to add to his impressive property portfolio with the purchase of a vineyard in France. But even before that, he has some wonderful homes all around the world, such as in Studio City, Los Angeles, Lake Como, Italy, Los Cabos, Mexico, and Oxfordshire, England. His car collection is no less impressive, with a 1958 Chevy Corvette convertible, a 2008 Tesla Roadster, a 2012 Lexus LS, and a 1993 Porsche Carrera, with possibly the strangest looking addition being a Tango T600 EV. George used to be a big bike fan, but a life-threatening accident has caused him to stop using them. As a youngster, Clooney had dreamed of being a famous baseball player, more than an actor. Today he's often spotted wearing the full baseball outfit and spending time with fellow players. He once owned a 300-pound pot-bellied pig called Max. He had it for 18 years until the animal died in 2006. Clooney had bought the pig in 1988 as a gift for his then companion Kelly Preston. George has won 2 Academy Awards and has been nominated on 8 occasions in total. His wins were in the Best Supporting Actor category for Syriana in 2005, and as co-producer he won Best Picture for Argo in 2012. And now we come to his biggest grossing movies of all time. You will see from this list that even when it's a box office smash, not every role choice he has made has been a popular one. Yes, even Gorgeous George has made some dodgy choices in his time. Didn't harm his earnings though, did it? In 10th place is the corporate romance movie, Up in the Air. This is not really my kind of movie, but it did make almost $85 million in the United States, and went on to gross more than $165 million worldwide. George was joined by stars including Vera Farmiga, Anna Kendrick, Jason Bateman, and Amy Morton, to name but a few. Filmed in St. Louis, Missouri, with a budget of just $25 million, the movie was directed by Jason Reitman, produced by Paramount Pictures, and released in the USA on December 6, 2009.
Make about 90 grand a year now. Unemployment is what, $250 a week? Is that one of your positive effects? Well, we'll get to be cozier because I'm not going to be able to pay my mortgage on my house, so maybe we can move into a nice fucking one-bedroom apartment somewhere. And I guess without benefits, I'll be able to...
An idea from a young new co-worker would put an end to the constant travel of corporate downsizer Ryan Bingham. So he takes her on a tour to demonstrate the importance of face-to-face meetings with those they must fire. While mentoring his colleague, he arranges hookups with another frequent flyer, and his developing feelings for the woman prompt him to see others in a new light. At number 9 comes a movie I have to admit I hadn't seen. Kinda slipped under my radar, I guess. The Descendants, co-starring Shailene Woodley, Amara Miller, Nick Krause and Patricia Hasty. The movie grossed just over $80 million in the United States and went on to reach close to $180 million worldwide. Filmed in Hawaii on yet another tiny budget, by modern standards, in the region of $20 million, the movie was directed by Alexander Payne, produced by Fox Searchlight Pictures, and released in the USA on November the 20th, 2011.
Look, you might not be able to hear this right now, but it's not her fault. Your marriage was not... She was lonely.
So you guys talk to me in cliches about women. Nothing is ever a woman's fault. Was it still going on when she had the accident?
Native Islander Matt King lives with his family in Hawaii. Their world shatters when a tragic accident leaves his wife in a coma. Not only must Matt struggle with the stipulation in his wife's will that she be allowed to die with dignity, but he also faces pressure from relatives to sell their family's enormous land trust. Angry and terrified at the same time, Matt tries to be a good father to his young daughters, as they too try to cope with their mother's possible death. Next we have the first franchise movie in the list, the 3D bonanza Spy Kids 3 Game Over. Not one you might expect Clooney to go for. He does get to play the president though. In this movie he teams up with the likes of Daryl Sabara, Alexa Panavega, Antonio Banderas and Carla Gugino. The film grossed over $110 million at the box office in the USA and went on to get close to $200 million worldwide. The movie had a filming budget of $38 million and was based in Texas. It was directed by Robert Rodriguez, produced by Dimension Films, and released on July 27th, 2003.
Hello, Junie.
Mr. President,
Well, you can call me Devlin.
weren't you already running the country when you were head of the OSS?
Well, I was running the country, but since the OSS is a secret organization, no one knew it. I wanted the world to know that I was in charge, so I became President of the United States.
Underage agents Junie and Carmen Cortez set out on their newest, most mind-blowing mission yet, journeying inside the virtual reality world of a 3D video game, designed to outsmart them, as the awe-inspiring graphics and creatures of gaming come to life. Relying on humour, gadgetry, bravery, family bonds and lightning-quick reflexes, the Spy Kids must battle through tougher and tougher levels of the game, facing challenges that include racing against road warriors and surfing on boiling lava, in order to save the world from a power-hungry villain. Next comes the futuristic Tomorrowland, A World Beyond. A movie I didn't expect to enjoy, but I couldn't help myself. It kinda dragged me in. Clooney is joined by Britt Robertson, Hugh Laurie, Raffi Cassidy and Tim McGraw to mention but a few. In the USA, the box office gross for Tomorrowland came in at just $95 million, but worldwide it did manage to scrape into profit at almost $210 million. Directed by Simon West, the movie was filmed on location in Valencia, Spain, with a whopping budget of $190 million. See what I mean about scraping into profit? It was produced by Walt Disney Pictures and released in the USA on May the 24th, 2015.
Newton?
That's not mine.
What's not yours?
The pen. I've never... No way.
Bound by a shared destiny, a bright, optimistic teen bursting with scientific curiosity, and a former boy genius inventor, jaded by disillusionment, embark on a danger-filled mission to unearth the secrets of an enigmatic place somewhere in time and space that exists in their collective memory as Tomorrowland. For the next movie, we go back to 1997, and one that received some criticism, in particular for the choice of actors. It's George's Caped Crusader jaunt, Batman and Robin. With a big-name cast list, Clooney starred alongside Arnold Schwarzenegger, Chris O'Donnell, Uma Thurman and Alicia Silverstone. The movie was filmed in Montreal, Canada, with a budget of around $125 million. It was directed by Joel Schumacher, produced by Warner Brothers, and released in the USA on June 22, 1997. Despite its critics, and I gotta admit, I wasn't a fan of the ice skating in it, Batman and Robin still managed to haul in close to $110 million domestically, and nearly $240 million worldwide.
There's something about an anatomically correct rubber suit that puts fire in a girl's lips.
Why are all the gorgeous ones homicidal maniacs? Is it me?
Enough. Sweet talk.
No.
Batman and Robin are back working side by side to stop the villains of Gotham City. But is there tension appearing between them? Especially when one villainess, who calls herself Poison Ivy, can make anyone fall in love with her. Literally. Along with Poison Ivy, the icy Mr. Freeze is freezing anything which gets in the way of achieving his goal. At number 5, we have the final instalment in Clooney's most famous franchise series, Ocean's 13. Directed in Las Vegas, Nevada, as always by Steven Soderbergh, with a budget of around $85 million. The movie co-starred the usual suspects of Brad Pitt, Matt Damon, Elliot Gould and Don Cheadle. Ocean's 13 grossed close to $120 million at the box office in the USA, and went on to achieve more than $310 million worldwide. It was produced by Warner Brothers and released on June 10th, 2007.
It's a reverse big store.
Doesn't matter if we win, as long as the casino loses.
Which means that we have to rig craps, blackjack, slots, and roulette, all in our favor.
Jeez, could you make it any more complicated?
Okay. Can't be done.
We don't have the manpower.
The time or a way.
The last time we saw Danny Ocean's crew, they were paying back ruthless casino mogul Terry Benedict after stealing millions from him. However, it's been a while since they've come back together, which is all about to change. When one of their own, Ruben Tishkoff, builds a hotel with another casino owner, Willie Bank, the last thing he ever wanted was to get cut out of the deal personally by the loathsome Bank. However, Danny and his crew won't stand for Bank and what he's done to a friend. They're not in this for the money, but for the revenge. Ever wanted to be a sea fisherman? Well, this movie should help you change your mind. It's The Perfect Storm. Based on a true story, this is an engrossing thriller with Clooney as the captain of a sword fishing boat, and co-stars Mark Wahlberg, John C. Reilly, Diane Lane and Karen Allen. The Perfect Storm was filmed in Gloucester, or Gloucester, Massachusetts, with a healthy budget of $140 million. Directed by Wolfgang Petersen, the movie was produced by Universal Pictures and released on July 2, 2000. It was considered to be a hit, with the box office revenue topping $180 million domestically and reaching almost $330 million worldwide.
I smell copper tone. That means that Captain Linda Greenlaw, a lady vain about her nose, is in my wheelhouse.
Make that Hawaiian tropic.
At least I got the nose right.
Your guys are loading bait and groceries. You doing a turnaround?
In October 1991, a confluence of weather conditions combined to form a killer storm in the North Atlantic. Caught in the storm was the sword fishing boat Andrea Gale. Magnificent foreshadowing and anticipation fill this true life drama, while minute details of the fishing boats, their gear and the weather are juxtaposed with the sea adventure. The number 3 position is held by another instalment in that movie franchise, Ocean's 12. With a cast including Brad Pitt, Julia Roberts, Catherine Zeta-Jones and Andy Garcia, the movie was again directed by Steven Soderbergh, this time on location in the Netherlands, with a budget of $110 million. It was produced by Warner Brothers and released in the USA on December 12, 2004, grossing around $125 million domestically and more than $360 million worldwide.
How did you get by the laser field in the Great Hall?
Aha. The laser fields. Well.
They pulled off one of the biggest heists ever, and now they have another job to complete. Ocean's 11, which consisted of Danny Ocean, Rusty Ryan, Linus Caldwell and others, all thought they would be able to enjoy their money, but someone has other plans. Terry Benedict is still fuming after losing his money and wants it back. The team now have the job of getting all the money they spent back, or risk being thrown in jail. How are they going to get it all back? By pulling off another amazing plan, of course. At number 2, we have the movie that started Clooney's money-spinning franchise, Ocean's 11. He stars alongside a cast that will become all too familiar over time, with Brad Pitt, Julia Roberts, Matt Damon, Elliot Gould, to name but a few. Directed again in Las Vegas, Nevada by Steven Soderbergh, with a budget of $85 million, the movie was produced by Warner Brothers and released on December 9th, 2001. In the USA, the movie managed to gross closing on $185 million, with the worldwide figure reaching more than $450 million.
Done before. What's the target? When was the last time you were in Vegas? You want to knock over a casino. 3 casinos? Vegas, huh?
Vegas?
Vegas.
Fantastic. The heist is impossible.
Casino security cannot be beaten. You're out of your minds.
Exactly.
Danny Ocean wants to score the biggest heist in history. He combines an 11-member team, including Frank Catton, Rusty Ryan and Linus Caldwell. Their target? The Bellagio, the Mirage and the MGM Grand, all casinos owned by Terry Benedict. It's not going to be easy, as they plan to secretly get in and then out again with $150 million. And finally, the number 1 slot is held by the space-based thriller Gravity. Filmed in, where else, space, with a budget of $100 million, the movie was directed by Alfonso Cuarón and co-stars Sandra Bullock, Ed Harris, Amy Warren and Faldut Sharma. Gravity was produced by Walt Disney Pictures and released on October 6, 2013. George Clooney's top grossing movie made almost $275 million in the USA alone, and close to $725 million worldwide, making it a movie well worthy of the top slot.
Brake! Brake, you have to brake!
Can's empty. You're gonna hit hard, grab a hold of anything you can.
Dr. Ryan Stone is a brilliant medical engineer on her first shuttle mission, with veteran astronaut Matt Kowalski in command of his last flight before retiring. But, on a seemingly routine spacewalk, disaster strikes. The shuttle is destroyed, leaving Stone and Kowalski completely alone, tethered to nothing but each other and spiralling out into the blackness. Now remember, these are George's top grossing movies. Doesn't mean they're his best, that's a matter of opinion of course. Maybe there are 1 or 2 others in your mind that you think should have been up there. Let me know in the comments if there are any George Clooney movies that you think should have been in this top 10.